Gentlelady yields back. Now recognize the gentleman from South Carolina, Mr. Norman, for his time of questioning.
You know, this describes the difference now that the two parties have, Chairman Hill. This describes what those comments were, describes what we're up against. And I agree with I guess, the Supreme Court who, when they, on the pornography issue, they said they know it when they see it. There's no definition. But if their party, which is pretty frightening, is endorsing a man in New York City that is advocating for total government control of gas stations, of our supermarkets, dismantling the police. That's the difference now that we're facing in this country. That's the part that my good friend, Mr. McGovern, you know, he's parsing the things, programs that,
I just support
that
Medicare.
began years ago and got off track. You know, Social Security should not be rated. Medicare should have guardrails. They want no guardrails. They want total government control. That's the difference in the Democrat Party now. Marxist socialist, assuming office, funded by a man by the name of George Soros, who does not have the best interests of this country. It's pretty clear, it's interesting, it shocked me, his comments, but that's where we are today in this country. That's where their party is. That's why Americans are not going to endorse that.
I think, Mr. Norman, if I could, I think the capitalist system offers individual ownership, freedom of choice. I think those are important issues, and that when somebody proposes to have state control of all the gas stations or all the grocery stores in New York, you know, I view that as a taking, which is anti-private property, anti-choice, anti-freedom of association and business, and that's not the right direction for our country. And that's how frequently you've seen socialist tendencies begin to get a bigger and bigger part of the economy and eventually take over the country in full state control, as we saw in Eastern Europe, and I witnessed firsthand when I was there working after the Berlin Wall fell. And I don't think that's in the interest of the United States, and I think it's absolutely something that's shared by both political parties in the United States, the majority of both political parties in the United States, that our market-based system here and our capitalist system has done more to lift people out of poverty here and around the world than any other system ever devised by man. And as we celebrate the 250th birthday of our country, we ought to be celebrating that and rejecting state control and state dominance of every aspect of our lives.
Would you not agree that socialism is a godless type, call it non-religion? Do they embrace a God as our Constitution does?
Well, I think you'd have to be looking at the people who've used socialism to control the state and make that a decision, not so much about the definition that we might come up with on socialism, but how people have implemented it in their country. And in the 20th century experience that we've seen, whether it's in Cuba or in Eastern Europe, it was a godless religion. I mean, religion was condemned by Marx, by Lenin, by communism, and that doctrine is what governed so many socialists and communists in the 20th century.
Well, it shows you the kind of war we're in with with their party, with their thought process. And regardless of what they say, socialism is a godless type of abuse of the thing that made this country great, which is freedom, faith, family, and freedom. Appreciate it. I support this. Yield back.
Thank you.